Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Kung Fu Beard. So today, as you can see, we're doing something with trains. It's Train Sim World 2020. I'm sitting here in San Francisco, the South San Francisco yard, and we've been tasked with some inbound duties with the Union Pacific. We have 3 GP38 TAC 2s here. Now, I know you've seen all these, or you may have seen quite a few of these train sim videos. I'm hoping to show you a couple different things, like how to turn the engines on and off if you didn't already know how to set them up for multiple power and braking. So sit back, and I hope you enjoy this very much. Okay, so first thing that we have to do now that we're ready to take over the engines is we have to configure them. So let's do that right now. We first need to tell this console here that we're going to be controlling this engine. Put in our reverser handle. Click on the lights to let everybody else know that we are operational. Be careful with the mouse and the turning, because it gets a little crazy once I get outside. Turn on the gauge lights for me. I actually like having them on. And then we're going to set our brake settings to freight. You got freight, passenger, or bypass. We're going to leave them in freight for now, because that's what we're doing, freight. Let's see, let's get up out of the chair. Turn on my thing here so I can see stuff. Okay, now we have the MU2A valve, and that's going to tell the logo, each locomotive, what position it is. Are we dead sticking it? Are we the lead? Are we taking commands from somebody else? Something like that. Alright, for our light settings, I'm going to be controlling the lights of the units behind me, and they're at the long hood, that being the short hood. They're not there, so they're behind us. And then we'll turn on our number plates at the top. So this locomotive is now set. Let's go back. Head to the next engine behind us. Alright, so for this one, we're going to want this cutout valve, and we're going to want it in cutout, the bypass valve here. This is for the brakes. If we turn that on, we have no braking. If we haven't cut out the lead engine, we'll control the brakes for the entire line. The MU2A, we're going to set this in Trail 6. That means that this will provide power to the entire train system, or the entire, I guess that's how you would say it. For our light system, we're currently in the middle. We're going to leave that in the middle. I'm saying system a lot. I'm not sure why I'm doing that. I'm going to put the reverser handle in even though I don't need it. Our brake handle is set to handle off. Now we're going to go out to this side, head down and around. Okay, so we're in the third engine now. Once again, Trail 6. Make sure we're in bypass or cutout. Brake handle off. I don't want to do that. It's asking if I want to change this locomotive, but I don't. Turn on the number plate, and now the light, we're being controlled from another unit. So if something else, and you can see the lights just came on back here, the dim lights. So that's how you know we now have it configured correctly. Alright, so these three are now set up. We're going to disconnect the coupler here so we don't have those cars anymore. The scenario, especially since I've done it so many times, it's going to have us pull forward and then go down the track here to my left and drop it off way back there. And I've done this so many times now due to either audio issues or audio issues or video issues, or just I had to reinstall the game completely due to it not starting when I saved it. It's been fun, but should be invisible to you. All you want to do is come in here and watch a quick video, and that's what I'm trying to provide to you. Okay, so our track is aligned now. As we get done and we come back down here, that's good too. We're going to go straight back. So let's go ahead, jump in, and let's do what we got to do. Hello, Mr. Engineer. How are you doing? Not engineer, I'm sorry, Mr. Conductor. I'm the engineer. He's going to sit there all day and look at me. He's not going to say much. Okay, so let's move it. Reverse forward. Give it just a little bit of throttle. Take off the brakes. Make sure the train brakes are off. I'm going to turn that dang bell off. Okay, we are now moving. We have forward momentum. So you probably see me going back and forth between the different, actually using the handles and then using the keyboard. And if I can explain that real quick. So W sets your reverser. W and S, reverser forward, neutral, and backwards. A and D is going to be your throttle, like that. So D turns takes your throttle off. A adds throttle, and then the brakes. If you use the semicolon key, that will decrease brakes, and then your little quotes here will put brakes on for the train brakes. The brackets right above it, that will do your loco or your independent brakes. So we like controlling the entire train brakes because that's how you stop. Since we're using all three of these as brakes, shouldn't be too big of a problem, especially when we have empties. Alright, so coming up on the stopping point here, the red light. I just redid this video because I ran that red light when I was talking just a few minutes ago. So the problem with using the keyboard, by the way, let's see, I can't, I have to go until it's literally stopped here. There we go. Okay. The reverser in neutral. We're going to just hit the 9 keys to make sure that we, otherwise I got to get out and run all the way down there. So our switch is good there. We're going to go to the stopping point, and it'll tell us where to go from there. Okay? So, reverser in reverse. Whoops. A little bit of throttle, and brakes off. Okay, we're now moving. We set, that's my front. We set what I call the conductor view. Push 3 on the keyboard. First time is you get 2 of them. One for the front, and I hit it again, one for the back. Once I move it with the arrow keys. And I still have control of the braking and all the controls for the engines through the keyboard. All right, come on back. Let me give it a little bit more. Let's go. It's coming in hot. Track speed's 10. We don't want to break that. They'll yell at us, get in trouble, take away points. So that's not something we really want to do. So what we're going to do with the scenarios having us do is we're going to go straight back. We're going to drop off this power unit right here, this engine. We're going to drop it off in the very back, come forward, connect to these guys. Put on the bell in case some of you working in between the cars or walking between the cars, they don't walk right out in front of us, they get smushed. So once we get back here, we're actually going to keep going past this marker. This marker's not of any use to us. Well, it is of use because, like I said, if I hadn't played it 300,000 times in the last 4 days, then may not know what to do. So this is why it has a stop there, so we can set both of these switches. And it's going to have us come right down here. I'm going to run the red light, go right there. We also potentially will have passenger service come through. So the passenger service will be like maybe on this line here. We'll see when it gets here. Don't miss. Let's just make sure again our switches are good. Our switches look good to me. We're going down the blue path. Let's give it. I think we're okay. 4.8. Yeah, we got to give it just a little bit more. Hit tab just to let the signaler know that we're coming. So I have 1 click or 13% of power applied right now. That's what number 1 is. That's what I read anyways. Okay. Goal is to stop it right there in the money, but we don't have to be perfect as long as we get her there. Now, using the keyboard, one thing that when I do apply the brakes, one thing you gotta be careful about is you can't see, there's no indication here of how much braking you're applying. So if you hold it too much, you're gonna hit the emergency. If you hit the emergency brakes, I guess with certain settings. Okay, so my brakes didn't apply. Why? Oh, you know why? Because I hit the wrong one. I was hitting the colon instead of the... So the colon makes it come off, the quotes make it go on. I was just a little backwards there. Okay, now it's going to have us uncoupled. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, Mr. Conductor, you doing alright still? Alright, good. Okay, before I do that, let me take it out of gear. Suppression that we could actually put on the independent brake, just so it doesn't roll anywhere. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to, first of all, we have to disconnect this engine, right? So I want to disconnect the engine, but I don't want it to, I don't want to leave it running. Nobody's going to be coming to get it today. So first, let's turn off the lights so that it's not in use. We'll just set it back up for an independent. Alright, we'll set it so it can be started. We'll leave all that stuff alone. You hear the brakes bleeding off right now. So there was a way that you could turn off the engine in here, I thought. With a fuel pump, should turn it off. But I can just hit this too. Let's see, fuel pump. So that should definitely kill this one. So you hear all the brakes bleeding off. Well, this engine is effectively dead. Now what I did by pushing this emergency fuel is this didn't just stop this one. No, 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 no. This stopped all of them. So this one is, all three of these are now completely off. No, I don't want to. I just want to look at it. Alright, so we've now disconnected this one. This guy's all by itself. It should not be running. So now we're going to go inside here. And we're going to make this the, there's two engines now. This is no longer an intermediate. This is going to be, there's only two of them. But we're going to control this from the front one. But we got to start the engine back up since we shut it off. Let's see. So that's still trail 6 and that's still cut out. Let's go start the engine. So what I did is I turned on your isolation here to start, and it will come right over here. Alright. If this was done at night, you could turn on the lights from the fuse panel and it will. Alright. So here we go. Look at that. So this is a passenger train right here arriving. Yes. Alright. Well, that was for you, Bojack. That was for you, buddy. I know how much you enjoy it. Alright, so back in the engine compartment, first thing we're going to have to prime the engine. Now, on some of the different DLCs, this handle actually is how we can make sure we can run the engine up. And, you know, like in your car, you have in the older cars, on the carburetor, you can give it fuel. Well, this, I don't know what you call it, but it's, you know, it's like a throttle handle, so you can run it up and make sure it's running. Here in this DLC, that we can't do it in the Peninsula Quarter DLC, so we have to go into the actual engine controls and run it up. But first, we have to prime it. So you got to prime it for 5 or 6 seconds. I do a little bit longer. Now, if you don't hear that whining noise, it's not actually priming. So just try it again. If it just bugs out on you, just walk away to the other engine and then come back. I've had to do it a couple times. So you can hear that the engine, sort of hear the engine started. So let's go ahead, we'll sit down here for a minute, we'll just test that. So I'm in neutral. Oh, you know what? I've got to give myself control first. Doesn't seem like, oh, you know what? Let me show you how to do it. Alright. Let's change these back to Trail 6. Okay, so now I've got control. So you hear the engine running up now. Was it silly? Again, I've probably done this so many times, and yet, I don't know, more than half the time I still do the same thing. I forget to isolate that and set it back correctly. Okay, so this engine is now running. And we've got to do the same for this one. Even though it sounds like it's running. Here, let's sit down. Let's try it. Okay. Miraculously, this one is now running as well. I'm not sure how. But I'm not going to argue with it. Alright, so we're going to have to pull forward. Let's take a look at the switching. Okay, so... Oh. Nope. we got to stay on the blue. So we're going to go pull all the way forward. We're going to connect back to the cars we disconnected from on the other end of it. We'll go pick them up. Right, so do reverser forward. A little bit of throttle. Take all of our brakes off. Alright, we're moving forward and we're in that conductor view, if you will. It automatically moved it back to the next engine that we have in the chain. There we go. Moving 503 behind. And now we have 541 and 522. Coming in nice and slow again. Everything looks to be lined up switching wise. A little bit more. Inside the cab here, we got a speedometer up here, so we don't need to do anything crazy. About 7 or so, close to 8. We definitely don't want to connect at that speed. If we can slow down a little bit right as we get there, that'd be great. Or if we're coasting in, and that'd be even better. To apply some brakes right before we slam into it. Alright, so the conductor has no, I don't know, he's mad dogging me. Look at him. See that guy, how he's looking at me? Like I shouldn't be sitting in this seat because I don't have any idea, any clue what I'm doing. Ain't that right? Yeah, yeah. It's like Chris's character sort of in GTA. Right? Is that Chris? Say something. Alright. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, let's see, it doesn't look, 4.7 is good. I do like to hit the brakes just a tad, just a little bit. I'll give it too much. So we gotta connect here. Gotta hit it enough to connect. Alright. Watch the brakes go do their deal. Now, we turn these lights off because, well, now there's cars behind us. But also, listen, the way the scenario has this set up is that we're gonna drive this train from here and go all the way back there and then push it all the way forward and drop them off. But I don't like doing it from the rear. I like being able to see what's going on. So I'm going to leave this engine and I'm going to go configure the forward one. I need to turn this off here. Don't tell me I hit emergency. I think I hit emergency. I didn't have I hit F1 to turn off the overview, the overhead, so that it looks better. Okay, so in order to do that, now we've got to turn this into Trail 6, right? And then up here, we're now this one's being controlled, not the controlling unit anymore. So we're on Trail 6, we're in cutout and handle off. All right, let's close that door. We can go across the crossings there, but it takes forever. It's just faster to go around. Alright. Now, same thing. I'm going to change this over now. We're now controlling. Alright. We are the lead, and we are now brakes. Also want control of this control panel. Turn on my gauge lights. I don't need rear lights right now. I'll turn on the front lights and the ditch lights. Alright. Independent brake off. And let's see what we're doing here. We're going to need to switch. We're going to cross these tracks right here. So we have to... I got a red light. Won't let me switch. Oh, we are switched. We are going to this. Let's see. What in the heck? So that's coming here. Oh no, we're on this line. We're on blue. So that goes there. We don't want that. We want that. So that's... I'm not sure. There's no switch here. There's a red light. Maybe that's why. Okay. Oops. I hate when I hit that. Okay. So let's go towards the red light then. Alright, see the brakes coming off. What did I do wrong? Alright. Okay, here we go. Alright, we got brakes on somewhere. Something's not right. Either got a parking brake on, or... Pretty sure I set these brakes already. I keep saying parking brake. Brake handle, let's see. So we're in cutout. Handle off. Yep. Reverser's off. There's no way that this should be on. Close that. Let's go down here. So those are released. It just feels like something. It's not letting us go because the passenger train coming. Yeah. All right. Okay, there it goes. Huh. Oh, we just got the bug again. Of course we did. So the bug. Okay. I'm done. More, so I went through a red light. I guess my red's up there more. And that's it. That's all there was to it, apparently. I got a gold medal. You think I would after the amount of times that I've done this. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching. That's how you start the trains, in case you didn't already know, and how you set it up for multi-engine power and braking. I hope this helped you out. I had some issues that, like I said, I'll get through. If you hear this commentary, I use that footage. I may do it again for the umpteenth time, who knows. But anyways, listen, if you enjoyed this, drop a like. We appreciate the likes. If you want to see any other types of videos, I do all kinds of different games, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, you'll be notified of every new video I put out. We've got some GTA stuff coming up this week, some new Red Dead Online DLCs coming out as well. And starting on the 11th of December, I'm going to do Transport Fever 2, so those will be new videos coming out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see those. And as I say every single time, I definitely appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you so much for watching and following me, and we're going to see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.